Today, I'm going to talk to you about the what, the why, and the how when it comes to selling. Welcome to Car Talk, where I give you my 20 years of experience on my 20-minute drive to work. If you're not enjoying this sales career that you're in, it's a tough position to be in. This is not a very fun job if you don't enjoy it. And I sort of look at this like a game. It's kind of like a game, right? You got to figure out the rules of the game. You got to figure out a strategy. You got to figure out how to win it. And when you do that and you win, just like any other game, you're going to want to play that game often. So it took me a while to really figure out why, what, and how to do what I was supposed to do in sales. And I really had to figure it out on my own, because most people will tell you what you need to do, but rarely explain to you how you do it and why you should do it this way. So it took me a while, and the first couple of years of being in sales, I kind of hated it. I thought about quitting. I didn't want to do it. I found all these reasons why it was a terrible career for me, and I almost convinced myself to quit. And one day, I decided to take it upon myself and actually learn it. So I needed to learn, what was I supposed to do, how was I supposed to do it, and why was I going to do it that way. So my career started to change when I invested my time into training. And my training first started with a man called Joe Verdi. And man, if you know Joe Verdi, here's the thing I'll say. Very monotone, very boring, but very good foundation. If you could get through listening to him and watching these videos and stuff that he put out, if you could get through it, the foundation was really good. He had a statement that made so much sense. He said selling cars or selling anything is essentially like a movie script. And the awesome thing is you get to rewrite the movie as many times as you'd like until it's perfect. And I thought about that a little bit, and I said, that makes total sense, because selling a vehicle is somewhat the same way every single time, for the most part. And if I'm going to do something the same way, why don't I just perfect it? So I would listen to his stuff. I would read his manuals. I had salespeople that I worked with that would go to his classes and bring home like a workbook. And I'd find him in desks, and I would take that workbook home, and I would study it front to back, line by line. And I would learn exactly how to do something. And I had it down verbatim. I had all these lines down pat, like still remember them today. Still remember the meet and greets, how to handle objections, everything. I studied that book so long that it like ingrained in my head. And I started to write down my own, right, and kind of get it in my own. But it wasn't everything I needed, right? It still only taught me what I needed to do. It did explain to me how to do it, but not in the way that I wanted to do it, right? When I started to get a little bit better, a little bit more confident, I realized this is not exactly how I'm trying to sell cars. I'm not trying to be a robot. You know, I want to have fun with it. And when I was listening to his stuff, even though it really helped me, and I think it was a pivotal point in my life, that it wasn't as fun though. I knew it could be funner than what it was. And I'd always listened to Anthony Robbins, and he had a course called what was it, Power of Persuasion. And I started listening to that And the awesome thing about that course was he explained to you why you did the things you did. So now I knew now I knew what I needed to do. And when I listened to him, it explained why you did it that way. Why you would have a process, and why you would say these certain things, and why you would do everything, and it kind of gelled the two together, and it made a lot more sense on why you would do it. Because I think if you know what you need to do, you have a clear plan. If you know why you're doing it, it validates that you should be doing that. It validates, okay, yep, all right, makes sense. This totally makes sense. Think about your kids, right? You tell them to do something, they always ask you why. Why do I gotta do that? Why do I need to do it like that? All they're trying to do is figure out life. They're just trying to figure out why they need to do it. So don't get frustrated in that moment. So we got the two things down, right? We got Joe Verdi, which is a great foundation. Then I had Tony Robbins that explained to me why I did it a certain way. Then I stumbled upon a guy, and I probably stumbled on him in the exact right time. And his name was Grant Cardone. And he had some training information, and it really resonated with me because at the moment it didn't seem like, it wasn't proper English. He just was himself, and I could tell that the way he was doing it, how he was training to sell cars, he was having fun. Now, I don't use everything that he talks about, but I took the piece of it out of, hey, why don't I be myself? Why don't I sell cars the way that I want to sell cars and have fun with it? Why I still have a foundation and a fully understanding of why I needed to do it the way that I was supposed to do it. And once I put all three of those together, it really elevated my career, and it's what got me to the next step, which is becoming an assistant manager. It got me into finance. It got me into being a sales manager. It got me into being the position I am now, the general sales manager. And I don't think if I wouldn't have stumbled upon all three of those, I don't think I would still be doing this. And if I was still be doing this, I think I would be, average to mediocre salesperson, complaining about my career, complaining about customers, complaining about my managers, complaining about my pay, complaining about the used car team, how they're doing a terrible job of buying vehicles. I think that's where I would have ended up because I wouldn't have fully understand it all. And once I fully understood everything, I fully understood what I needed to do, why I needed to do it, and exactly how to do it. I started investing more time in it. I started investing more time into my career. I would literally write down everything that I needed to do. If it was a meet and greet, I would sit for hours and write out a perfected meet and greet. When it came to test driving, I would perfect the test drive route. I knew exactly where I was going to go. I knew exactly how I was going to ask them to take a test drive. I knew what I was going to say if they didn't want to take a test drive. So on and so on, down to closing the deal. And the one piece that I think we don't talk about enough in sales training is there is no fancy objection lines. There is no fancy overcoming objections when you do it the right way. You don't need that. You don't need all that stuff when you do it the right way. Customers, when they come to the dealership, they want to buy something. That's why they showed up. They want to buy something. If they didn't want to buy something, they wouldn't have showed up. There's better places to spend their time. So if you understand that they're trying to buy something, then you'll also understand if they don't buy something, you did something wrong. You ruined it somehow. Maybe you didn't have the right vehicle, or maybe you didn't listen to the customer. Maybe you made it all about yourself. Maybe you rushed the process. Maybe you tried to show them 2 or 3 vehicles that definitely they weren't interested in, so now they lost confidence in you. But once you do it the right way, I'm telling you, there's no objections. There's really, I mean, you'll have to use some, right? You know, to overcome certain things, but not like these fancy, like big remembering all these objections. I did that, and I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy being a robot. What I found out was, hey, if I have the customer's best interest in mind, I was good. For instance, the customer didn't want to take a test drive of a car. They came, showed them a vehicle, they liked the vehicle, they didn't want to take a test drive. I would simply just tell the customer, hey, I totally understand that you don't want to test drive the car. That's no big deal. So, but here's the thing that I hate to have you see, that I've seen it happen in the past. Whether or not this is the car for you, that's going to be totally up to you. But if you leave and you go home and you think about it, and you decide that, yeah, I do like that car, I want to come back and test drive it. So now you make another day to come back to the car dealership, which I know you don't want to be at, and you test drive the vehicle, and as soon as you go around the block, you realize you hate it. You hate the vehicle. Now, I know that you wouldn't buy it, and I wouldn't expect you to buy the car, but why waste that day? You're already here. Regardless if you want to buy the car or not, that's totally up to you. Whenever you want to buy the car, I don't care. But at least test drive it to see if you even like it. Don't go home and think about it if you don't even know that you like it. I would do things like that. Like, I understand that's kind of overcoming the objection, right? But I'm just telling the customer, like, hey, I get it. I've been in your shoes. I totally understand. And just letting the customer know, I don't care if they buy the car. That's one thing. I don't care. You want to come to the dealership and you don't want to buy the car, that's fine. We sell enough cars that one's not going to matter to us. But if you like the car, at least test drive the car. Anyway, got on a little sidetrack there. But if you're struggling in this career, like the career, maybe you just haven't put forth the effort to really learn. So I would suggest finding a sales trainer, finding somebody to listen to. Whether or not it's my videos, somebody else, just find somebody that you enjoy listening to. Stop with the sales trainers are ego, and sales trainers don't know what they're talking about, and they sound this way and sound that way. Just stop that. Just find somebody that you like, that gives you solid information on how to do it. Okay? This is what you're supposed to do and how you do it. And then find somebody that goes a little bit deeper, Tony Robbins or somebody like that goes a little bit deeper, to fully understand why people do what they do. Realize that, because then it really helps you out. Like when a customer comes in and they're like pretty standoffish at the beginning, and maybe they're not treating me the best, I get it. I don't even get upset. I watch salespeople get upset about that. I don't even get upset. I don't care, because I fully understand why they're like that. They hate me at the beginning. They don't like car dealerships. They think I'm going to rip them off. They think I'm going to try to sell them something they don't want. They think I'm going to keep them there for hours. They think I'm going to hold their keys. They just have all this bad energy built up about car dealerships. So yeah, they might come in a little hot. Okay, I understand that. But if you don't understand that, you take it personal, and then you do a terrible job, and then you blame them. They're not on your time. They're on their time. They don't want to waste it. Maybe you're natural. Maybe you don't need to listen to sales training. Maybe you don't need to know how or what and all that. Maybe you don't need to know that. I don't know. But most salespeople, if you take all the salespeople that sell cars, there's an average salesperson, and most people are within that average. And if you want to break that, you got to invest your time. I would utilize my time on the way to work, on the way home. Heck, I utilize my downtime at work. But you're going to have to invest some sort of time away when you're away to improve your skill. You're gonna have to think about it. You're gonna have to write notes down. You're gonna have to practice it just like an athlete practices. If you want to get better than average. If you don't want to get better than average, so be it. Those are the people that I listen to. Really changed the course of my life when I put all three of them together. Maybe there's somebody that does it all in one. I don't know. I can try to go a little bit deeper on some of that stuff, but figure out what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, and why you're supposed to do it, and really perfect your craft. Once you perfect the craft, it's an amazing job to be in, an amazing career. And you'll do it often, you'll want to do it more, you'll see yourself spending a little bit more time with it, getting better, and at the end of the day, making more money, supporting your family better, and once you get really good at it, you can probably do it all in less time. But until then, keep being average, keep being the way that you're being. I can't be with you all day in the car trying to make you do it. But I just heavily advise that if you're average in sales, change your ways a little bit. Humble yourself a little bit. Get a little bit better. Take a little bit of time. Listen to some stuff. Try a little bit harder. Listen to your managers. Ask your managers, hey, why do you want me to do this way? Hey, why do you say to do it this way? Talk to them. Get out there and do some training with them. It's not all about taking orders. Okay, it's about perfecting the process, making it smooth for the customer, building the customer's confidence. And at the end of the day, they get what they want, you get what you want, which is to sell them a car, and they get to buy one. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Hope this makes a little bit of sense to you. As I keep doing these videos, I'll keep trying to get better. But again, I'm doing this spur of the moment, on my drive to work, just random thoughts that I have throughout my career. And hopefully, this helps somebody get better. Have a great day.